Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Metal Gear Speedrunners Saturday Christmas races. We're starting out with some Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance on the very easy difficulty. We have two races here for you today. We have Mockingjay versus NickRPGreen. Should be a fantastic race. And from the looks of it, they're already off, unless that was a false start. I'm not sure. But we've seen Nick flying ahead. But don't worry, all races go to the in-game timer, so we confirm results right at the end. NickRPGreen's relatively new to the category, but he already has a pretty high level PB with a 106. Mockingjay has a high 104, so not a huge difference between the two races. We'll obviously see Nick take an early lead at the start, but that doesn't actually matter. Using the in-game timer, this game doesn't count loads, so the time at the end is what you did in your gameplay. I'm joined by House Test as well. Welcome, mate.
Welcome. Thanks for having me. And of course, also thanks for joining me. It was more of an impromptu thing to say, hey, how about we do something tomorrow? And we had two races here. I'm very excited to see them back to back. 4 great runners, 2 great races, and 1 great game to be seen.
Yeah, I love Metal Gear Solid 2. I love the community, and they're always down to race in this game. I'm pretty sure we could have easily flogged some more V races. We could have had a whole day of it, to be honest. This category just never stops being so popular. People love to play it and love to race it as well. Starting out with Olga, Nick's got a left side. Left side can be a little bit scary. He's doing a weird strategy here as he runs into the middle to do a couple of body shots. This seems like a NickRPGreen homegrown strategy. Mockingjay gets the left side as well, but she gets the early shot, which puts her straight into the cutscene. So Nick needs 2 shots, and Mockingjay needs 3 coming out of this cutscene. Nick looks like he's going for all auto-aim shots. He'll still need 3 headshots to end the fight here. So they both need 1 headshot.
Oh, just missed it.
He should pick it up here. She doesn't lose her iframe until the end of the rim. He needs to move. She's going to go over to the left. Yeah. Just gets it. He got the drop out of the sky. Olga glitch as well. It's kind of weird that you see that animation where she falls from the sky. But yeah, handled it well. He knew to move. If he hadn't have moved there, Olga would have hit the second cutscene. So he looked like hesitant, like he wasn't going to go. But I'm glad he did, because he would have lost a ton of time. Better Olga from Mockingjay overall, but not too bad from Nick either. It seems like he wasn't going to risk that left side loop not working. Sometimes on very easy, the left side loop just doesn't work. So, who's to say how it could have gone?
Yeah, she just says no and then continues on. And we're like, come on, please.
It's horrible because you'll see she'll do something weird, like she'll double back, or if she does any extra animations, you know it's not going to work. So I kind of like that for a race, just not risking it.
Yeah, true.
Nick's new to VE, but he seems to have a really good head on his shoulders for mitigating time loss.
Absolutely. He's one that very carefully learns the tutorials, unlike me, who just watched them once and then fumbles through the game. He definitely knows what he's doing.
Yeah, watching tutorials is cheating. It's akin to cheating.
I mean, so is skipping cutscenes, but I give him the benefit of the doubt. And Nick's going here for an older strat. I love it.
Yeah, they both ended up with a very similar engine room, using what they call the 1974 strat, no caution. Yeah.
That means they will have to skip a cutscene on top. They will play when the guard fixes the door.
But House Test, that's a half a second time loss. How will they manage to recover?
Well, yeah. I was gonna say they probably have to make it up with the guard rush. It's coming up next. Oh, don't explode. There we go.
Nick's absolutely terrified. If you go too close to the sensors, you get an additional codec. That only plays on very easy. On the higher difficulties, you can just run into the lasers and it doesn't warn you.
Yeah, the game's like, what? Ah, okay, I'm gonna give you 1 warning, but next time I don't.
Yeah, for the casual player, that's actually good that it exists, but for the speedrun, it's bad, because we obviously know about the lasers, and getting the cutscene is like 11-second time loss or something. Well, Mockingjay gets an alert and gets kicked. Let's see how Nick does. You don't
And
have
the
to
guard's
take out
behind the
this
door.
guard. You can just move, and you've got to take out the next one.
The next one, yeah, that's key.
The first guard is too far away to actually stop you from. I was going to say stop you from turning the door, but it looked like he did for a second there. Maybe we should just drop the input.
Could be, could be. Nick did
Guard
a different version, just bumping the guard, and now moving on both to the guard rush right away.
Yeah, guard rush is a monster for variants. You need to hit this guard behind the box that we call D-Cheetos, but often what will happen is your auto aim will lock onto the guard on the right, but it looks like they're both... Oh no, Mockingjay missed one shot on the guard behind the box. Nick pulls ahead. Good guard
Relatively
rushes from
similar.
both.
Yeah, definitely good, for sure. Now back to the holds we go. There's a little cool trick that we can do where we overlay two animations at once. That makes us skip the ladder. Let's see how they're doing this.
Mockingjay's not risking that ladder glitch. Nick has his SOCOM out. What is he doing?
Was it? Oh no, Nick.
That looks so sus.
Yeah, that looks sus. I think there was some missing experience because I think if he already stopped there, I would have taken out the M9 and shot just the guard at the projector and then move on to the left.
Mockingjay taking absolutely no risk in this hold. All of the holds are game over if discovered. They're one of the hardest areas in the very easy speedrun and one of the biggest causes of time loss. Any mistake is met with a game over. So playing these holds safe can sometimes be the difference between winning and losing a race. Losing a few seconds for safety here is sometimes the wisest thing to do. As we see this exact situation happen in the race.
Yeah, Nick going non-ladder glitch this time and then carefully making sure to get in the projector guard. Now moving on as well. Alright, how many pictures do we need to take now?
We're going to take 4 pictures from 2 spots or 3 spots. They're the most common ways. Essentially, the biggest time save in hold 3 is making sure you don't have to go all the way to the Marines logo.
Oh my god, Nick! You just
Nick
bumped the guard instead of holding it up.
Yeah, he did some sort of normal strategy there with the... I'm not sure what that was. That was a Nick homegrown strat right there.
Yeah. The maker of new runs and strats.
Very reminiscent of Il Pazzo, another person who likes to make up his own strats.
Mockingjay moving on into the plant. I hope everyone switched to the SOCOM on previous, because that will put actually the M9 on unequipped, and then when we start the plant, only on very easy we can get the M9 right away in the beginning here. Though we don't pick it up yet, we immediately make our way forward to start the timer on the elevator and then come back quickly to grab the M9.
Yeah, some people do, some people don't. You don't need to do it, but you're essentially just stood waiting for the elevator anyway. So getting the M9 doesn't really matter unless you're going to do a non-lethal Fat Man. I don't think either player will, but I'm really not sure with Nick. It depends on what school of thought he subscribed to when he started learning the game. And when you learn late in the lifetime of running this category, you tend to pick up on these crazy strats. Like M9 Fat Man is a relatively new idea in this speedrun, but it is the fastest way to do it.
Indeed. There's also different levels of how easy you can apply them as a beginner.
I believe it was Ed Boy who found the most consistent setup for the M9 Fat Man, where you kind of cartwheel into him. With M9 Fat Man, you can do it in 1 cycle. With Lethal, it always takes 2 cycles.
Yep.
But yeah, Mockingjay's not going for any M9s. She's just going to wait. Be curious to see what Nick does. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. As I say, you have to wait for this elevator anyway.
Yep. There we go. Make sure to skip the cutscene that's coming in, then you have an easier time to spot when the doors open. And there we go. Mockingjay's off. Nick walks all the way back now, as explained earlier.
Yeah, if you don't pick up the M9 in the deep sea dock, it literally puts it on your path. There's no way, or maybe there is a way to kind of get past the M9 without picking it up, but it's very difficult. It's on our path. We're always going to pick it up.
Exactly. Right, and moving on, we are making our way towards Stillman, the bomb defusal expert, who unfortunately can't help us other than showing us how some ice cream spray works, I guess.
Yeah, it gives us a bottle of Febreze and tells us to go around spraying it on bombs. The bomb disposal section, it's a tight section, a lot of fancy movement to do it quickly. I'm not sure where Nick lies on what route he'll use. I know Mockingjay will do the clockwise bomb disposal route from Strut C. Nick may opt for something more fancy like a conveyor belt route. I'm really not sure.
I think at the beginning when he started learning, we discussed it a little bit, and I think he ended up on going the regular clockwise version. But I'm open for surprises. You will never know.
Conveyor belt is slightly faster, but it's a lot more effort. There's way more actions involved in doing the conveyor belt, and the time save I think is about 10 seconds optimally. Sue me if I'm wrong. It's somewhere around there.
Yeah, you grab 2 boxes. You have to use 2 glitches with the conveyor, so it doesn't stop. You can immediately hop on it and all the things. And especially in the beginning, people just opt to be like, I'm just gonna walk around, freeze the bombs, and be done with it. But for sure, the conveyor belt route is the future, and especially in higher difficulties, getting more and more worth it.
Yeah, the higher difficulty you go, the harder it becomes, but the more time save you get from it. So I think, yeah, it is absolutely the future of MGS2 speedrunning. But we're just a bunch of like old boomers who don't want to do it.
Totally. Speaking of not doing it, we play usually not on New Game, but New Game Plus or Plus Plus. As long as that is not New Game, because Stillman's explanation takes very long, and thankfully on the later games, if you play from a finished save game, you can skip all the explanation.
Yeah, it's the only unskippable that's changed on New Game Plus. And, it takes like 3 minutes, so we don't want to watch that. Sometimes runners accidentally start a race on New Game, and it's pretty devastating if you do that. Pretty much guaranteed to lose. Yeah, we've seen that recently.
We've seen that recently. Race. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, it's not just you who's done it recently. I think Proofrock did it recently as well. Yeah, easiest way to lose a race, just start on New Game.
And it only matters for the plant section. If you want to do just a tanker, which is the first chapter, there's no difference. Actually, you want to be either on New Game or New Game Plus, where you don't have the camera for menu optimization purposes.
Mockingjay gets shot. You really want to avoid getting kicked in Strut D. If you get too close to that guard and fail to hit him, he will just kick you down. Like 5-6 second time loss. Oh, Nick's gone back up. That means he's like guaranteed to. His position was fine. Like he could have gone down. Yeah. He's opened it from the wrong side, so he won't get fast bomb unless he moves first. Yep, knows to move first. I think he's on unequip.
Oh my god, that wouldn't be ideal.
No, he can't be, right? Because he was fine in the
he's on previous. No. He's on previous. He just switched.
Yeah, he just had a bad menu.
There's another thing with MGS2, other than the original Metal Gear Solid. In MGS2 and later on, certain games, especially 2, has the previous settings, so you switch between 2 items instead of just unequipping. And that actually helps us because we can toggle very quickly between 2 different things that we use. For example, in this section here, the N9 to shoot our guards, and a coolant spray to defuse the bomb.
Yeah, it saves a lot of time, and it's such a good feature that they took it out for Metal Gear Solid 3, even though it would be so good. I wish it was in Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh
when you first start playing the game and start running the game, it can feel very weird to play on previous, but it only takes like 1 or 2 runs to get used to, and then it feels like you've been doing it the whole time.
Especially because you're using it a lot. You're not menuing anymore at all for long sessions. For example, like if you do clockwise, you basically stay the whole time on these 2 settings.
Yeah. Now, Mockingjay has done this crazy prone pickup for a mine quite a few times in races. I've seen her blow up a few times in races so far. Let's see if she can actually get it today or if she'll actually go for it. But she's going to aim to prone and land on top of a claymore. Yeah, she's going for it.
Oh, no.
And that's what happens if you don't get it. You explode. And now she'll have to pick up another claymore, which is kind of in the way. She'll likely take a few shots from these ciphers as well.
Yeah, we could walk around it entirely, but we actually do want to use one later. That will be coming very handy once again to skip a few cutscenes that would otherwise play.
Yeah, we pick up the claymore and we use it later in the core. It's a really useful little item.
Indeed. Moving on to see what Nick does. I would expect... Oh no! Yeah, there on the right there is one actually. I think he was thinking he could cartwheel down there, but you want to be basically on the dark track because there's no claymores, and then move all the way to the right corner.
Yeah, so they both took kind of like an equal time loss there.
Yeah.
Who's there?
Strut A is a fun room. We're going to crawl under some pipes and defuse the bomb from the opposite side. So we're actually going to get in a specific position, which will allow us to defuse the bomb from the wrong side, which is a little bit faster than going all the way around. So once Mockingjay stands up here, she'll just crouch and turn towards the bomb, and that's the setup for it.
Another cool thing we do actually. Sorry, please.
No, you go. I was literally going to say what you're saying. Don't worry about it.
I know exactly. Yeah. So what we see is actually these people when they're prone and want to stand up, they switch to the coolant spray to be in first person, initiate the standing up animation, and then switch away to the M9 again. And that interruption actually will make it so we're instantly standing up. It's a little trick called cool and rise, and it definitely saves a good amount of frames for sure to make it worth it, especially because we can use it quite a lot of times this time. And Nick has to readjust here. There you go.
Yeah, you want to be against the pipe on the right and have your knee on the white line, and then it'll work.
There we go. Tell you what, I was definitely nervous when I started running this game. Usually didn't get it at first, and I was like, oh my god, I'm losing time. I gotta get this position right, and then I never got it until I tried over and over again. Meanwhile, I can get it, but... Another few cutscenes we have to skip. MGS2 has a lot of talking sessions, and unfortunately, like not in MGS1 on PC, where you can instantly just close down the codec, we have to go through all of these codecs, but at least there's a fast forward, or what we do on PC, we can use Turbo to go through the menus in almost the same time fashion, but the advantage will come in actually when we have codecs and cutscenes playing back to back. So then we just need to hold X and circle and go on right away.
Yeah, there's actually a huge amount of mashing in this speedrun without turbo, so I'm glad we have turbo. You'll actually see both players in the bottom right. You'll see when they have it active and when they don't.
Thanks to B-Man giving us new community tools to help us remind ourselves basically when it's active and not. We already had audio triggers, but recently B-Man developed this nice overlay so it can actually tell us in words as well.
Yeah, I prefer the visual personally.
Absolutely.
To the audio.
You can always just glance down there in the corner and be like, oh, yeah, it's on, or oh, it's off. There we go, Mockingjay moving on to the final bomb, and then the actual boss fight begins. Right, we have an instant boss fight, I hope.
Yeah, I'd say at this point she's made some pretty good time on Nick with starting later and being ahead like this. She's definitely made some good time on Nick.
But it's not over yet by a long shot. There's still a lot of game to come.
Yeah, they're both heading back to the deep sea dock where we started the run. They're going to defuse the final bomb before fighting Fortune. Fortune is an interesting fight. It's not an auto-scroller. There is 30 plus seconds worth of time save, providing you correctly manipulate Fortune to destroy certain objects in the room. It actually ends the fight faster. Missing that setup would be devastating to either player.
Absolutely. Additionally, you also hope that Fortune will play along a little bit and shoot barrels where we lean against. Sometimes she can be just like, nah, I'm going to shoot away from it. So there's a little bit of luck in there.
Yeah, or just at us repeatedly. Theoretically, she can just kill us.
She could, yeah. Mockingjay going for a short break. Let's hope there's no issue.
Yeah, so again, we use the in-game timer to time speedruns. So the winner will be decided by who has the lowest IGT at the end of the game. Pausing actually pauses the IGT. I'm not sure what the issue is, but I'm sure she's fine. Otherwise, we'd get a message in backstage if it was an emergency. So.
Yep, there we go, she's going. Well, you'd think now that she'll be behind, but as Apache explained, we're going by IGT, and the IGT actually pauses on start, so it's kind of nice for her to wait for Nick to catch up again, so we have them side by side again.
Yeah, I mean, either runner could go in the drink here. They're kind of close to... When you defuse that bomb after the cutscene, sometimes it forces Raiden into the water, which is a huge time loss, and it also messes up your menus, which is most annoying. Okay, so we'll see this setup now. Raiden will turn to the right and punch 3 times, then face forward and crouch. And what we want to see is Fortune destroy the forklift, and then she'll hit us, which we purposely get hit by her, and then she'll destroy the lights. We'll run to the front of the room and manipulate her to destroy some crates, and then the golden barrels on either side of the room, and then that will end the fight sooner.
Indeed. Look at how nice they are now, basically frame on frame, very much in sync.
Generally this fight will come out about 1 minute 11. If you don't do this setup, it can be around 140 plus. So it does make a huge difference.
As you can see, also they're leaning against these barrels to get even more of the environment damaged quickly. Both kept the elevator cutscene at the same time. Nice.
Yeah, that cutscene actually lets us know that the fight will be ending soon. It's a sign that we kind of look out for. Mockingjay could die here. She gets hit one more time.
Oh,
or again,
she has the ration.
Time.
Please use the ration.
She needs to equip the ration. She needs to stand up and equip the ration.
Oh. I'm getting nervous over here.
Wow, that was way more stressful than it needed to be.
Yes. Just having a ration on in these Metal Gear games have us actually not die, but replenish that health again once we were to go about it. But I think that was calculated. She just wanted to flex on us, and I think she got me at least.
Yeah, me too. I'm just recovering from the cardiac arrest here. After you win a boss fight in this game, you'll get full health.
Indeed. Yeah, we grab here some chests that we need later. And there's actually a Claymore in our path, and if we don't have clean movement, the Claymore that's basically facing right on that shaft will explode on us, kick us down, and we need to stand up again. But both of them had it explode and not kick us, so we can immediately move on.
It's the enemy. I need help.
And both are now on the way to get to the Furious Bomb player. I just don't know what I want to say. I wanted to make a pun on the car motorist that's here in the bottom corner. But anyway, they're on to Fat Man. And Nick actually grabbing this time the Claymore here. That's what I prefer as well. I don't do the funky strat that Mockingjay does. Though I have to respect her for doing it. It definitely looks cool.
Now, Fat Man is a ridiculously optimized fight. I think we'll see lethal from both. But all the bombs can actually be diffused faster. So if you stand in the right position before diffusing a bomb, it will diffuse in 1.25 seconds. A normal diffuse takes 2.5. So getting all the fast bombs as well as taking out Fat Man efficiently can result in a much faster fight.
My god, that is in sync right now.
So we'll defuse this bomb on the right first, but we'll knock Fat Man down first and put one shot in him, then defuse the bomb. And that allows us to get closer to Fat Man before delivering that second shot and letting him stand back up again.
Yeah, Nick going for a slightly different version here. He didn't wait and defuse the bomb between the two headshots, but still got it early enough. Well, Mockingjay definitely did the faster version here by a smidge.
Yeah, it's just those fast bombs. They really help out.
Oh, sure. There's quite a few of them that we can get here once again, so we can just speak for the bots. It's crazy optimized, and the high-level runners try to go always for these fast bomb diffusals. But let's forget about the bombs. We don't need to find that anymore. We need to find now aims. So we go back to the core here in the first shell, and then thankfully We're all playing on New Game Plus, so it makes it a bit more exciting because compared to New Game, where aims it will be always in the same position, on the New Game Plus and Plus Plus saves, he will actually be randomized and can be in one out of, I don't know, 30 positions.
I think
Definitely
it's
a lot of them.
22, 23 positions, something like that.
It's a lot for sure.
I think with the time in the UK as well, we will get a certain hostage spawn, depending on what time your clock's at. Both these runners from the UK, so it's 11:30 at night here. I'm pretty sure that is a certain hostage spawn. I think it might be the old ladies.
It's either that or 1 hour early. I don't know anymore, but we'll see in just a moment. Before we go to aims, we have to do a few things. On very easy only, we can grab the AKS that we need right here in the Shell 1 core. On the higher difficulties, and alternatively, if we want in very easy as well, it would be in the armory. But it's definitely faster for us to go directly on the way that we need to go anyway. Mockingjay has already the claymore in the hand, and she will put the AK now back in again. Because Nico has to menu a little bit first. And we'll see now why they picked up that claymore. Because we're going to go down to B2 and then place that claymore into the elevator and have it explode there because we shoot it with the AK. And that explosion will cause not only a caution and guards coming in, it will also lead to the elevator door being open. So we don't need to wait for it to open up again after it closes, and it's definitely nice.
Yeah, elevators can take a very long time in this game. There is such a thing as fast elevators, where they open after you, as soon as you press the button, but they're extremely rare. I'd say it's like less than 10% of the time.
Mm.
So you'll see Nick slightly ahead in this room until he hits the elevator. But for Mockingjay, it'll be open due to this strategy, but for Nick, it'll be closed.
Indeed. We just got confirmation from B-Man that the two variants of the spawns is 10 to 11 p.m. local PC time, so when your PC says between 10 and 11, or from midnight to 1 a.m. that would be the Jennifer spawns, which replaces all the other hostages with just one character.
They won't get a special spawn then.
Nope.
Oh, this is sus position
This
from
looks
Mockingjay right here.
My
It
god,
worked.
okay.
It worked. It was so sus. The setup was so weird.
I didn't believe that worked, but it did. Yeah, basically we lean against the wall, punch twice, and then turn to the right. And then we can just unequip the AK and grab immediately the guard that's walking after we knocked on the wall. Alright, let's find aims. There we go, the is quite good. Bottom right corner, not the worst.
Oh, Nick's changed his clock, so he gets a good spawn position.
Indeed, this is the old lady spawn. You mentioned earlier.
Southeast.
Right?
It's the one place he didn't look.
Yeah, it's the one place where he should have looked first, to be honest. But there we go. They both had similar aims, but unfortunately Nick didn't walk the path that he should have walked. So he lost some time here. And this is the moment, for example, where Turbo comes in greatly, because we just need to hold X and circle here and skip immediately through the codec and the cutscenes at the same rate. It's very easy for us to do. If you're on console, we can't do that, because skipping the codecs doesn't work in the same way. We have to fast forward with double pressing triangle, and then still mash or turbo the cutscenes back and forth. So on PC, it's definitely easier.
Send backup. I have an unknown target here.
Alright, moving on to the big fight that's coming up. That's one that's really making a dent in the people's times, depending on how well it goes. We're gonna go through the armor quickly and grab the PSG-1, and then afterwards it's going on to the Harrier fight. Harrier fight has a lot of different setups in the beginning, and the more damage you can do in the first few seconds, literally, the better. So let's see how well it will go for both of our runners here.
Yeah, this is genuinely the scariest section in the whole run. You have the sensors, the Harrier, Leap of Faith, and then getting into the Shell 2 core. In my opinion, it's the most grueling part of the run. It's the part of the run that viewers find most interesting to watch in races. There's a hell of a lot that can go wrong.
Indeed. But before we go there, we have to do a little bit of sniping. On very easy, don't let me lie, I think it's like 6 bombs detectors that we need to shoot out. One on a cipher. That can be a little bit scary. These ciphers, they have a weird hitbox, and when you think you're just shooting out the sensor, you actually blow up the entire bridge. So let's hope none of them make a mistake here. And
yeah, it happens to everyone at some point. You will hit that cipher when trying to hit the sensor and blow up the bridge. I don't think there's a single VE runner who can say they haven't done it.
Sure.
nerve-wracking part of the run, because the cipher is on a pattern, and you can risk taking a shot when you're not sure about it, or you can wait and lose time for when you're sure.
I think also that cipher is the sole reason why we couldn't do a plant or full game finish yet in blindfold, if I understand correct, because moving in first person here is not as deterministic as it would be in other games.
I haven't found a setup that works for it, and I think it's one of the biggest roadblocks in completing this game blindfolded.
Almost he had a second shot, but none of them. That was close enough though. You want to zoom in usually all the way just to be extra sure.
Okay, Harrier from Mockingjay. We're going to aim to hit the Harrier 5 times. It flies overhead. She's going to opt for a 4 shot and then go for the +1. 4 shots are good.
Good stuff.
Now we're going for the +1. That looks good as well, as long as she doesn't unequip before it hits. There we
Nice
go.
one.
Now she's
4
set up
plus
for the
1.
die shots. Let's see how Nick does. Nick goes for 5 + 1, I believe. 3, 4 from Nick.
Good.
Oh, we shot too early.
Low. He could still go for a +1. She probably tries. Don't think that will work out, but let's see.
They're even on the Harrier right now.
Exactly. Looks good so far. We can be in this transition, leaning over the railing here, and that will not have us take any damage. It's definitely good. Mockingjay finishing first.
Nick can end here if he gets both shots.
Which is a bit tricky. It's not really based on us being good or bad, but he got it. Nice. Both of them. And that ends the fight as well for him.
All right, this is Leap of Faith. 1 chance to get over. Very nice from Mockingjay. Let's see how Nick does.
Interesting enough, I always think you have to jump later than you think you have to. If you jump too early, you mess it up. Nick also got it. Let's go. There we go. Now, ideally, we cartwheel here 3 times over certain tiles, so we don't have a little cutscene play where some of them will fall down. Just mind optimization once again. And then we're just hanging over here. They're definitely back to back, at least in RTA.
Strut perimeter, we're going to throw a chaff grenade as soon as possible. And then we're going to get an alert from the guard. The chaff grenade will go off, and it will stop the cipher from shooting us as we inch our way across this tiny little ledge. Both doing the same strat here. Nick doing the B-man setup where you cartwheel towards and then hold up left on D-pad. Always works, prevents doing a D-lime special and running off the edge.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah, absolutely not. Both players are through. This is an awful place to take a continue. It's a huge bit of time lost.
You have to walk all the way back again almost. And there we go. Yeah, what we do in MGS2 sometimes is we equip and unequip the weapon that we have in our hand, and then we'll reset an animation. And especially when we wriggle over that edge, it will have us actually move a little bit faster. It's a technique that we also use in the Twin Snakes, the remake of MGS1 that's based in the MGS2 engine.
Both through to the shell too. They'll both be feeling good that they didn't make any huge mistakes during that section. Nick, I know, went for 5 + 1, but getting that in a race this early into his MGS2 VE career would have been something. But both Harriers were fine, I think.
Nick speaks for how much time he puts in there and how precise he wants to be, and definitely is careful to follow basically the recipe of the tutorials very well.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty disciplined player already.
More than me, for sure. We're gonna get our feet a little bit wet. We have to grab the Nikita, and then we're gonna go back and actually shoot out the electro panel just like we did in the original game. Mockingjay doing here something that not many people know. You actually don't need to dive down towards the Nikita. You can literally just swim over it and then flick the left stick.
Nick
just missed it. Yeah, you need to go a little bit further. It got it now on second attempt. And there we go. That turn can easily be done with just the right stick being flicked down, and then you turn around immediately.
Sometimes when you miss the Nikita like that, when you try and get it on the second attempt, it feels like the hitbox for it moves or something. You can get really trapped underwater, so I'm glad he picked it up so quickly there.
Yep, good job.
All right, don't kill the president before you say it. We're going to hit the electric box.
I wasn't going to. Yeah, the president can take 2 shots, but then he will definitely die. Ideally, he will just not be on our path and we can move on immediately. There you go. It took a little bit longer to align himself, but still good enough. Now
Yeah,
here
good
comes a
Nick
lot
from
of info dump again on us. And then after that, we move on to the favorite part for everyone. Yeah, we have to actually do a little escort mission back through this core here, and then move on finally. Oh, mockingjay being stuck here on turbo. You don't want to hold turbo too long here. You just want to skip the cutscene, then let go, or else you will do what she did here, basically crouching and not being able to stand up again. You need to turn off turbo quickly and then keep on moving.
I wonder if we'll see swim glitch from either player here. I don't know how familiar Nick is with it.
I know both of them started practicing a little bit, where Nick was starting in general. But I have a feeling both of them will go the secure route that will know works for them, and just do the standard swimming as the devs intended, basically.
Generally in races, I only go for it when I have to. Like I know it's the only way back into the race.
So for people that don't know, swim glitching is basically where we have a little setup that has us basically swim higher and higher, higher, and even get us out of the water. And then we can slip out of bounds just because we're over a texture and swim immediately to the van point, skipping not having to open the 2 doors that are in our way, and of course also not the codex that we'll get. mockingjay starting immediately as we predicted the regular route, and Nick as well. Fair enough. It is tricky, and if you mess it up and take too long for the setup, it just doesn't save you any time, so if you just want to go for it, that's totally fair.
Yeah, failing it can lose you time, and we have seen that in plenty of races.
Yeah, this is unfortunately the substance version for PC. The original release, Sons of Liberty, has an entirely different glitch, which is way easier. I wish we had that here.
Nick's doing a very strange route in the water here. That's not the official water route, Nick.
He just wants to go a little bit on the track.
Alright, this is Vamp 1. Blink and you'll miss it, hopefully. You have to hit him with 6 stingers, rhythmically placed into the water. And that will do all of his health before he has a chance to dive.
Yep, basically
like
skipping
that.
all the fights and phases. Thanks to PC and good performance, it actually doesn't slow down. If you play this on console, you cannot turbo in the same way. You can use turbo, but usually you time it manually because the game slows down immensely. Especially if you play on the original Xbox, that game is basically a slideshow.
Yeah, if you play it on console or JMC's laptop, it will lag.
Mm-hmm. At least loads don't count, so that's always nice.
Benefit,
and this game can be run on many machines.
And fridges, probably. You don't need a good computer to run this game.
Absolutely. And if you want to learn how to run this game or any other, of course, join us at MetalGearSpeedrunners.com and our Discord, of course, where we host races like this every now and then. Hopefully more in the future. We'll see about that. And of course, we're happy to teach you all the tricks that we just explained. Maybe a little bit slower, but for sure. It's always a great hobby to pick up.
At this section, we can just leave Emma and hit the load zone. From this point on, we'll actually have to hold her hand and walk her through doors. There is a brand new glitch that was found by Miss Chelsea, the Emma Zip. We can knock her out of bounds to put her in more favorable positions and save, I think, something near 20 seconds if you hit both of them correctly. They are not race friendly at all. Lots of people don't do them in PBs, but it is a very brand new glitch to the game. So shout out Miss Chelsea for finding that.
It's also a little bit risky. Well, it does funky stuff. Basically, Emma gets put out of bounds and all the guards are like, oh, what happened? Basically, the entire game freaks out at that point. I do think, though, because mockingjay is fairly ahead, she feels good about that run, I think she will not go for it and just do as we usually do and grab Emma in precise lines to avoid beating all the guards and having an alert coming in.
Yeah, I think she takes a couple out for safety where, oh, she's gone the wrong way in the water. 100% gone the wrong way in the water.
Yeah, that ain't looking right.
She's okay. She's back
There
on
we go.
track now. Emma's going to lose a
Yeah.
lot of health here as long as she doesn't go down to the A in her name. She needs to get out of the water early. She needs to get out of the water now.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair. Though.
Once Emma's health gets down to the A in her name, she'll begin to sit down when you're trying to take her places. That was hard to watch.
So far, so good. Let's hope she doesn't take any more damage anymore, which should be fine.
Yeah, optimally she won't take any damage during the escort. It can happen, of course, but just hopefully not.
Oh, she's doing it. She's going for it.
No way,
Setting
why is
up
she
Emma.
doing it?
Send backup.
Oh, she did it!
First time!
First try. Let's go. Mockingjay is doing a little bit different what some people do. She goes back down the elevator and then back up again. This will basically put Emma back into the level, but not at the elevator where we are coming out. She will be placed basically at the exit, so we don't need to drag her all the way. And instead, we can just walk right through. It's just so much easier for us.
It was pretty cool to see that in a
Absolutely,
race. And
especially side by side. You can see what Nick is doing right now.
See it executed so well as well. That was awesome.
That was a risk, but she did the math and it worked out for her. There we go. One more bump through the door that will put Emma a little bit further ahead instead of us dragging her through the door. And then it's all the way to the end now. Not bad. I'm impressed. It definitely takes courage. We just have to say it over and over again. This trick only saves like 7 seconds, I think. And you can try and get it. And when you don't, she will basically lose not just the time, but also the other guards will be on different patterns. We have to work much more. So getting it right away was definitely very good for her.
Yeah, a lot of people won't even go for that in PB attempts. So to see it in, missed putting out the fire here.
A little bit more. She good now. What?
Nope.
Oh, it's too far. And now bumping Emma this. I don't know.
This could be really bad.
Damage.
Emma's gonna die here.
Yeah, she might take a continue now.
I would just take a continue. I would reset this room as quickly as I could.
Yeah. Oh no.
Like Emma's literally on fire right now.
This is not good.
Yeah,
And she's
I
dead,
knew
there
as
we
soon
go.
as she hit Emma, it was gonna push her into the fire.
How unfortunate. Just after she got that first try, Emma zip. Well,
I think she'll
I
be
think
okay
she went just
overall.
a little bit too far. Yeah, she will be okay overall. We knew she had to take a break, and we're going by IGT. So there's still a lot more time she could lose, but hopefully won't. Nick is moving on to the best time to take a break, the sniping section. So we have to wait for Emma to walk all around these places here. Thankfully, we're playing on very easy. On very easy, there's no claymores that we need to shoot out. Just a few ciphers and a few guards, and then we're good to go. And there you go, mockingjay is moving on now. Very nice. So yeah, at this point, you could call Snake. He offers you to shoot out all the things, but you have to still look at them in the corner. We usually set up new game saves or saves on consoles, and if you just on a new game run and just want to have to save, at least when I did it back in the day, I just called Snake, was like, you do this part, I'm gonna go make some dinner or something. And yeah, basically that's just it. We will wait now for the first guards to come around here. Nice headshot by Nick. And there we go. And now we have an awful long time because there's just a few ciphers coming in, and then when Emma comes closer to the second tower, that's when new guards coming that we need to take care of. Now Mockingjay starting the same part as well. And we have to just say it again, Mockingjay had to take like roughly a minute of a pause earlier in the run, so it could still be that she is ahead in IGT, which we are going after when measuring the outcome of this race.
I'm pretty sure she is like ever so slightly ahead, but
Yeah.
it's not by much, and I don't think she can afford another mistake like that.
Oh, for
That's-
sure. And this is, yep.
There's a huge time loss for Emma to die on the KL like that.
Oh, yeah. It also took a long time there. And yeah, there's still things coming up after the section. The run's not over yet. And especially if you're not playing clean enough or well enough, there's still time you can lose against your opponent.
Yeah,
And Nick's
absolutely.
enjoying the nature.
The last section of the game is absolutely grueling with the Jejunum Tengu 1, Tengu 2. Even the Ray fight, you can lose time on it for sure. And the Solidus fight, we've seen all kinds of time loss from runners on that fight.
Indeed. Fun fact, if you shoot too many of these seagulls, you get another cortical, a delay even more. So I would highly advise not to shoot too many of them.
It's not mandatory, so as long as you don't answer, it's fine.
Ah, then I misunderstood. But you would get a call, but it's not mandatory. Good to know.
Yeah, shoot away. Kill the seagulls, it's fine.
Then instead will shun all of you for abusing all these animals. You. Nah, it's fine.
I like to take revenge because sometimes they get in the way on the Shell 1-2 bridge.
Yeah, when you're just shooting that cipher and then there's a seagull in the way, and the cipher moves away and you have to zoom out again, zoom in again. It's nerve-wracking for sure.
Yeah, there is actually a finite amount of seagulls, so you can kill them all during this section. They don't like respawn in or anything.
No, that sounds like a category extension. Seagull percent.
Seagulls IL, it's definitely been discussed. Vote Seagull IL now.
Get it now tomorrow in your inbox. And yeah, this really a long time where not much is happening, at least not very easy. And thankfully, another thing also that we didn't talk about much in this game, a few very easy mechanics. Alerts don't transfer over to rooms, so resetting stuff is nice. But also, especially in this section, for example, we don't need the diapsabum. You can just use the sniper as is, you know, we don't need to calm ourselves. But I have to say, this nice landscape is very calming.
It's one of the best sections in the game music-wise as well. The Twilight Sniping from the OST is
so
one
good.
of my favourite tracks.
Always enjoy when I come here at this part and I mean like just jamming, just vibing. Alright, Nick has just one more cipher coming down as Emma's moving towards the end of her journey, and then finally we can end this game. Just one more section for Nick to walk on. Once again, we're having Vamp 2 coming up this time. And if you think the first fight was done quickly, well, let me tell you, the second fight is even faster, especially thanks to Turbo, of course. You literally don't need to move at all and just hold down the weapon key and then you're done.
And don't
Unless
don't
you go too
move.
far. Don't move. I did that a little bit when you just want to tip over a little bit. It helps. It's slightly faster, but if you go way too far like he did, and that's a time loss. But he still got it quickly enough for sure. This next section is timed, so we're gonna make sure before we go to the end that we don't die. There is a bridge where we could fall down, for example, if a cipher shoots us, and that will put us all the way back in here where the countdown started. So this is not just one room where you would restart, it's actually in the entire segment here this time. So get out your AK and then shoot all the ciphers, at least the one that you need to. There's 3 coming up. The first one definitely is mandatory, and the third one. The second one, if you're clean enough with your movement, you don't need to worry about. You're gone already before the second cipher sees you at all. And there we go, Nick got all of them, and then he's just cartwheeling into the sunset. Now, next coming on to the next section, there's not much really to do. We're just skipping a lot of cutscenes and most deaths. Honocon and Snake high-fiving, sure, why not? And then we finally get on to the big reveals of the story that our man right in here is actually a child soldier, and actually Solidus is something like our dad. It's a bit weird, but go with it, it's fine. Gets even weirder later, so don't worry about it.
You know this fellow?
Yeah, I'm never going to attempt to explain the story during a speedrun.
Yeah, it is wild.
Go play it.
Exactly, go
game.
play it.
It's really good.
At least if you have a console copy right now, the game is not in stock, I guess, because of footage and license reasons. But soon.
What a way to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yep, who knew? That's the surprise I definitely didn't expect. Mockingjay moving on as well, hopefully not dying. She takes extra precaution and goes a little bit further. And
Missed it, gotta wait for it, don't get the alert, all good.
It's okay. Just take out the third one, she did. And there we go, we're all good. So it's all good, nothing to worry about.
She's keeping us on our toes throughout this entire race.
Oh sure, I can feel it. We were Nick's getting punched by Olga. And now we can wait for Rose to call us, or we do it instead. And that actually is much faster because Rose will take her time before she reaches out to us. That will have us finally get out of this conduction, and then we're moving on to Genjinum. One of the last big rooms, and definitely a tricky one. You want to make sure that you hold the codec button, for example, to answer the codec as fast as possible. Because while we get the call coming in, all the other guards are walking around and messing everything up, so be quick, react fast.
Yeah, if you don't buffer that codec, you get seen by that first Tengu, so really important. I think Nick's going to go for a risky strat here. He's set up well, and he's caught the codex early enough to go for it. This is where it can all go pear-shaped. Good take out on the guard, just make it across the gap. Yeah, all
there
good.
you go. He's good now, yeah. If you get an alert, there will be a guard here at the end, depending on the timing. And as we can see, he's a pain. Yep, he is. Thankfully, you can move on after this, because they'll a few seconds of iframes. And that's it. If you get an alert and fall down, that's actually terrible. Because not only do you need to take another path that's way longer, also the guards that will come automatically into your way are so much more annoying.
Yeah, and they'll shoot you the entire time, so it's a nightmare if you fall through that gap with an alert. The Genjinum gap is legendary for ending runs, changing the course of races. It's a historic, tiny gap.
Now Nick will get actually his sword and gotta make sure to swing immediately. And that will start a, I think, 42-second timer. We just need to wait. There we go. And now we're back again into calm time.
Let's see how Mockingjay does on this Genjinum. She's got to do... Ooh, gets the codec early, which will give her a little bit of delay of getting to this guard. He will continue his cycle while waiting for that call to come in. She's going to get seen early, takes out the guard still with an alert. Oh, and falls with an alert. She's going to lose time to not only having to go the long way, but also being shot the entire time she's heading there.
Yeah. Other guards will also be in the way, will kick her. As we can see. Oh no. It's a very annoying thing that can happen. When she got shot, she could have just moved on because she had iframes. Fair enough, though.
It's difficult to do in the situation when you've got the alert and you're being shot. You'll be kind of like panicking.
It's a little bit of a panic moment for sure. We get that.
Tengu 1 from Nick. Our entire goal with Tengu 1 is to get to the end of the room as quickly as possible and do the door glitch. So we can actually extend Raiden's hitbox into the load zone behind doors. This is the only place it's useful. We'll put our back to the door, punch kick in first person, and release as the kick comes out. And that will glitch us through the door just like that.
Wonderful. First try.
And we have absolutely no idea who's winning this race or what the pace is or anything. Like, we don't know.
It's all open now. One thing or two, we actually go into this precise spot and we're going to want to shoot down basically this door to catch up all these Tengus when they hop down. Nick could just let Snake do the work here. If they go down, doesn't matter. As long as you get the other ones dropping down, that's better for you. We have to shoot a certain amount before this section can move on. And just don't worry, that's not a real continue. It's this fishing layer, not mission failed. Haha, we tricked you. It's all live production.
Yeah, this section we're just trying to speed it up as much as possible, like hitting these guards in the spawn position as early as possible. Snake will actually just delete all these guards with his M4, so even if you don't do anything, this room is still pretty fast.
Indeed.
Snake has
Sometimes
like
Stingers can... Go ahead.
you go. You're right. You're right.
Just wanted to say, sometimes Stingers go back in the door and they are shy to go out. That's annoying, but I think they did quite okay in this segment.
Not a bad idea, though.
Yeah, he got the position a little later, but it looks strong.
Let's see mockingjay do it. Wow, NickRPGreen needs to wait for Solidus to hold his entire speech. Fun fact, that speech cannot be interrupted even if you're menus, so you can prepare everything you want for the next fight.
It's a development program to artificially reproduce Solid Snake, the perfect warrior. The result is a Foxhound commando. When Foxhound no longer exists, a simulated
Nice.
Tengu one.
Let's try again.
by VR
Love it.
Sound like someone you know, Jack? I'm sorry to see you reduced to one of the Patriots' puppets.
Should we move over, equip the Stinger and unequip it again to have it now in previous, and then immediately get set up here for the start.
Your arrival. It was obvious the Patriots were among my
Yeah, let's just like
I had to
Snake
smoke out the
do the
agent
work
before
there.
the mission entered
Just focus
the
on the ones that
final
are dropping down
phase.
here.
You came in handy as bait.
We were next preparing for the next fight, which will be the race. And very easy, we need to delete free race and the health bars. It's important to distinguish that it's the health bars, but for purpose of very easy, it is literally just free race that we need to take care of.
And now you've been led back to war by something.
Here's
less
Erectin, that's
than
funny.
real.
And there we go, let's see how it goes. Manny moves over to buffer the Stinger, which is fine. We shoot basically best inside the mouth of these rays, and then looks good. Decent race, for sure. The first two directly, and then the second one jumps on top of the stage, that's fine. Oh, Nick got that safe boss.
Twice.
Twice. But not 3 times, there we go. Then moves on. I hate this, I always have that as well.
Yeah, safe boss, incredibly frustrating. Always present danger.
Indeed. Especially because you have to skip cutscenes beforehand, and when using Turbo, it's so easy to just not let go of X early enough and you automatically go into the save. Which is, I usually mash that manually, just this one section. This section here, we didn't talk about when it happened first time, is the actual time when we need to resist the choking and just hold our breath. Thankfully though, again, Turbo is allowed, so we can literally just hold Turbo with triangle and glide through this section. Save the wrist, hold yes on Turbo.
Final fight for Nick. Solidus. We have to fight him with a sword. What we'll do in the first phase is knock him down and then move to a distance to bait his rocket attack. That makes him most manageable. In the second phase, very much the same. We'll bait his attack and block, and then hope for good RNG on Solidus's slashes and just take him out. Pretty simple fight, but knockdowns lose a lot of time, so opening the fight as well, we'll punch first, and that will mean that we can slash.
There we go, moving on Nick here. Backing up away from him, actually exploded that rocket. Usually we don't need to worry about that. And the idea is that we go away from him so we can, there we go, carpel into Solidus once these rockets are coming up. He's open for attacks and immediately yoink him 3 times. Mockingjay moving around as well. Smooth as we expected. And once again, we can just, like, we literally don't know anymore who's ahead or not. There were a few pauses left and right. So RTA timing does not mean that the winner has been decided yet. We will go to the score screen after the credits. Nick getting here an elbow. Very nice, yes indeed. Not for a second. But getting the opening, and
Time for Nick.
it's Nick. Very nice.
Do you
Now RTA
remember
will be
this
way
place?
too low. I said he forgot the first few minutes, so we can almost ignore
is
it,
what
but
we
still,
first met.
good time for NickRPGreen coming up. Thank you so
I
much.
remember now.
And Mockingjay moving on as well, swiftly
Today
through all these
is the
codecs
day
and
I met
cutscenes
you.
to do Solidus.
That's it.
We literally just don't know. We don't have a clue.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Nick might have edged it at the end here.
I think I found something to pass along.
I
to
can't
the
remember
future.
how long the
What?
pause was or anything. Like, I just don't know.
He said all
It was
living
quite
things
long, but I
want their
can't tell
chance
anymore
to
at this
live
point.
on.
Are you
Let's see.
talking about the baby?
Just have to wait through
Yeah.
9.5 minutes of music.
The genes aren't the only thing you pass on.
I'm excited to find out.
There you
Good
go,
phase
second
one
phase.
from Mockingjay.
Indeed. Welcome, Nick.
Hoi hoi.
We're just about to see the end of Mockingjay. In case you didn't watch the race, there were a bit pausing left and right. We don't know anymore who's ahead or not, so we definitely have to wait for the score screen in the end.
Cool.
But a good run, of course. GG to you already.
Thank you.
As we wait here for the final 3 slashes.
Time.
And that's the end for Mockingjay.
Nice.
I mean, give me your second predictions in the chat. Who you think won it? I really don't know. I don't have a clue. I'm
I
just
also
here.
don't know.
It was a great race, though.
Indeed. So yeah, Nick, how furious were you doing this run? I've seen you going for definitely advanced strats, trying to go for the 5+1 Harrier.
Yeah, I
but
just
not
yeah,
the 5th. Yeah.
yeah,
What
just
happened?
missed that 5th shot. That's the shot that I usually end up missing. It's difficult, but I was better than what I usually do. Usually, I get to the point where you're facing off directly as he's like piling you with missiles and stuff. So to not have to go to that bit was good for me.
Wonderful.
Hello.
Hello, Mockingjay.
Yo.
Welcome. GG's to you.
I'm really sorry about that pause, guys. I had a problem with my laptop. The wire wasn't
no.
properly plugged in, and I was like, it's going to die on me, so I need to plug it in at some point. So I just picked a moment.
Oh no. Well,
Yeah.
actually, I thought from the racing standard it was quite cool because you unpaused almost the same time where Nick was. So we had actually for quite a few moments, both you and Nick side by side in sync. It was very nice, actually.
I killed Emma. Whoops.
Yes, that
Oh,
happened.
what?
I killed Emma by accident.
What
Yeah,
did
the
you do?
KL
I was-
connection bridge.
I was dragging her near the fire. You have to put the coolant on the fire, and I thought I'd put the fire out, but I hadn't. So then I caught fire going through it, and then I was trying to use the coolant again and pushed her into the fire. That then caused an alert. So then I had to shoot the sensor and the guard. Then she died from the fire.
Oh God.
It was pure chaos.
I was like, what the hell is going on?
Despite, here's the best thing. Just before she did the Amazon first try and saved a good chunk of time.
I know.
We were
I
so
did Amazon
surprised.
first try.
That's
And I missed
amazing.
it. Whoopsie daisy. Oh gosh. Did you get any continues or not?
I did, yeah. I got caught
Did
by
you?
the first. I got caught by the first guard in holds 1.
Oh,
But that was it. That was the only one.
do you know what? I took tanker, the safest I've ever taken it in my life. I didn't do
Indeed.
ladder glitch. I shot the guard before I even ran. I didn't do anything drastic. I literally was so careful.
I couldn't do ladder glitch on my second time round, and I was like, I don't understand what's going on. I was like, fine, I'll just climb down the ladder. As soon as I got to the bottom of the ladder, turbo was still on. I was like,
Oh.
That
Well.
explains it, yeah.
You have the overlay as well.
I know. It's because I don't have the sound now, and the sound was a bit of a trigger. But no, I do prefer this new coloured overlay. I like being
Yeah.
furious at times.
You definitely appeared furious at few
man.
moments.
How close are we looking here? Have I lost this race?
We don't know. We literally don't know anymore. We lost track of how long the pause was, how early the difference was with when do you start. I think
Okay.
there was a slight delay who started first. So we just have to wait and see in the end. It could be right on the dot. If it's a tie, we're going to do a tanker tiebreaker.
No.
Oh God.
So
I'm so bad at tankers, man.
We might do
Oh my
a sudden
God.
death. The first one to beat Tanker, I guess.
Where's Apache gone? Did he do comms?
Apache did indeed do comms, and I just want to apologize quickly. He had to move on to do his podcast, of course. He just
Okay.
jumped
Oh, cool.
on for commentating here on Prompt for us.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Apache, and shout out, of course. Follow him at Apache Smash on Twitter, and of course, the Kojima Frequency, his podcast. Great project for sure.
Oh, I made some real mistakes in that run, man.
The question is, like, how were you guys thinking about this race? I think Nick, it was the first time racing for you in MGS2. Were
Yes.
you nervous?
A little bit. But as with every race, once I've got started and I've forgotten, like I try and quickly forget that I'm in a race and just think about just running and getting into the zone. And once I'm there, I'm fine. I'm more nervous now than I was like doing Harrier.
It didn't feel like a race to me because like I'd been at work all day and I'd literally turned my laptop on like 20 minutes before the race. So I really was not prepared. That's not an excuse. I'm just saying, like, I genuinely I just felt like I was just playing a run for the first time of the day. Like I hadn't run it in a few days either, and I was just like made a few mistakes, but I knew that was going to happen. And like I didn't expect the big mistakes, so that's all on me. That's just me being an idiot.
It's all good though. Once again, shout out to both of you. We literally talked about yesterday evening. If you just want to host just one last race event here on the community channel, we found you, Nick, of course. When we have also following up D-Limes13 at Young Snow, showing us how normal looks like. So once again, shout out for everyone who jumped on us and says, yes, we're gonna do this. It's so appreciated. So thank you so much. But indeed, we have to wait. This is like one of the few times where once again, I just don't know. We had a tie. Funny story on the side. Mockingjay and I had a race a little earlier, like I think 2 months ago. We literally ended up tying each other on the second.
It was crazy that was mental.
Yeah, and like the RTA difference was also not that little. It was like a few seconds, like 10 or something. So I was like, yeah, I lost this one, right? And then time was up. It was like 1 hour 8:22. And I said, what, you too?
It's you, dude. Like you did it in the Twin Snakes tournament against Vermilion. Like, guys, if you ever looking for a race where you're gonna tie, just race house and it will happen, guaranteed.
I mean, I think Nick has got this because my continue took longer to recover from, whereas I think yours didn't. I don't know.
Mine wouldn't have taken as long if I'd not then messed up ladder glitch afterwards. But I don't know.
What was your Harrier like?
I managed to kill it on its as it charges towards you, the second shot I killed it on. So I missed the 5+1, but I got 4+1, I think. Sort of.
Yeah,
I can't remember if you got the +1, but you did the 4 first.
I missed the +1 on the 4. And I hit it twice, and as it comes at you, and then once as it turns around. So I got it before it came on the final phase. So slightly slower than yours.
Well, we're coming up now with IGT for Nick. Let's see what it says.
Oh my gosh,
1
I'm
hour,
nervous.
6 minutes, 42. That's the time we need to beat.
What's your PB, Nick?
I can't really see it on live split because it now just shows me 106.42. That was 33 seconds behind my PB.
Oh, so you're like a 106.10,
106,
like that.
106.19.
All right.
Very nice, very close.
Oh, I don't want to see my
106.09. Can't count.
Ah, okay, I see.
Yeah, I said that 106.10.
Yeah, you did. I just can't. I
was like 30 seconds. That's like 12, right? But I'm gonna go 10 because I'm nice.
Yeah, 105 is obviously my next big goal. It would be nice when it happens.
Yeah, it will. It'll happen.
For sure. This won't be the last race, and hope for both of you we see each other again.
Yeah, I'm never killing Emma again like that.
Yeah, that's definitely a premiere.
Oh,
All right, IGT's
God.
coming up for Mockingjay as well. Let's see what it is, and then we hopefully have a winner.
Oh, I'm scared. Oh, I'm
I'm a little scared as well.
Oh my god. It's a 7. I'm so sorry to anyone that bet on me.
There were quite a lot of people.
I'm
Oh,
really sorry.
107.21. That means this race goes to NickRPGreen.
Well done, Nick.
Congratulations.
Well done, Nick. Well
Thank you
deserved,
very
mate.
much.
Well done. Oh man. It was too many mistakes. It was too many mistakes.
Yeah.
GG man. GG. Good race.
That's it. I'm done with Metal Gear Solid 2 races. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay
Stay
at
in the win.
100%.
Back to our Metal Gear
Undefeated.
Ghost.
Oh god.
All
Oh,
right,
man.
everyone. If you have any last words, shout yourself out, of course. And then we're going to move on to the normal race. So, Mockingjay,
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah, thanks for having me. If you want to follow me on Twitch, that'd be great. I'm trying to get affiliate at the minute, so want them channel points, so give me a follow.
All right, and Nick will actually stay with us, but of course, you should also get a chance to say your last words for this race at least.
Yeah, sure. Mockingjay's trying to hit affiliate, so if everyone could give her a follow so she can get them sweet channel points, that'd be great.
Thanks, Nick.
All right, then we go to a quick intermission, set up the next race, and of course, see you in just a few minutes.